Good morning.
Good morning. Good
Yeah,
morning,
very good
everyone.
morning. So today I am very happy that we have Mr. Bhavik Kakkad. He is a global investment management professional, CFA, charter holder, and successfully completed three exam. First RPEB, second investment planning, third is tax planning and estate planning, and all three exam first attempt with 70% plus. So congratulations once again, Bhavik Bhai.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
So I thought that now many of our participants going for their second, third, or fourth exam. So I thought let me take a help of Bhavik to get a fair idea about the what general principle, process, principles, structured he has used. Okay, which help him to get on average 70% plus result in the examination. Same time, we have Omkar. He has also cleared his all three exam first attempt. Tejas Bhai also completed last exam RAIP, where Bhavik you can learn from him. He has completed
Yes.
with 67%. Okay, so
Very good.
objective is not necessary that it is a one-way communication, but let give Bhavik 15-20 minutes opportunity to share his thought process, and then we can open for open to learn from other participant. So
Yes,
it is
yes.
kind of best practice sharing for next 30 minutes. Yes, Bhavik.
Okay. So thank you for the opportunity, Pushap, allowing me to share some of the thought process and how I approach the exam preparation. So very simple. I first had a plan, as they say, failing to plan is planning to fail. So I prepared a structured plan how to go about studying, what material should I refer to, and how should I study. So, sir has said time and again that refer to the important notes on several occasions and go through the past papers. So I actually, to prepare for each individual exam, I initially refer to the important notes that sir has already provided in the video learning kit folder, and then followed by my own notes. So while studying to or going through the video learning kit, I had prepared certain notes which I went through those as well, as they were good pointers for myself to remind how to, the key principles or key aspects or certain formulas, for example. So I went through those, and then followed by questions. So if I took speak about individual exams, then for RPEB, I went through all the questions in folder 2 Word documents that sir has provided to us. So that included my goal-based financial planning questions as well. At the same time, I went through file number 7 and 8. And during going through these process, I realized that there were certain questions where I may not be clear or may not have been covered in the video learning kit itself. So then I refer to the Word document as well, which is given in folder 4. So RPEB, for example, or IP, I think it's in folder 5, if I'm not wrong. So different Word documents, that theory documents are provided, and I followed up with the workbook questions also, because quite often I realize that there are theory based questions or some 1 mark related questions which may not have been covered everything in the video learning, but the theory has document has everything in it. So I found that very useful in terms of preparing myself for the different type of questions that one can expect in the exam, because looking at the sample paper and the mock paper also gives some ideas what kind of questions are being asked. So I thought it is better to go through the theoretical aspects as well, and I specifically allocated about 100 plus hours to just do probably RPEB preparation, and then some 40-50 hours to revise the goal-based planning questions as well, including loan and children health education planning, etc. So once I went through those, for IP and TPEB, I didn't have to go through those goal-based planning questions, because I had since I'd revised it, and I'm doing exams one after the other in the last 3.5 months. I did all the three exams. So a lot of these things are very fresh in my mind. Maybe a day before or two, I revised, and I also asked sir before TPEP, sir, annuity calculation, suddenly I'm blank. I know how to do it, but I was getting blank in mind whether CY is 12 or 1 or what it is. So I called up sir just the last day before the exam. But otherwise, goal-based planning questions were very much thoroughly done before the first exam. So then it helped me to prepare for the second and third exam, where I only focused on the individual subject matter. So IP, for example, then only investment planning related questions. And in case of TPEP, only TPEP related workbook and theory and practical solving of exams like tax rates, deductions. So I specifically solved residential status related questions, probably 10, 15 questions, different variations I solved because I knew something related of this will come. Fortunately, in my exam, I had 4 questions related just calculating the residential status or determining someone's status. So that helped me basically. So, to summarize, basically all the important notes, theory books, file number 7, 8. I didn't get chance to go through file number 9, but I did 7 and 8, most of the questions related to the subjects. And then mock paper and sample paper. So RPP has 2 sample papers on the website, on the FPSB website. So I went through both of those, and that gives a good flavor of the different type of questions one can expect in the exam. So that is what I went through. And lastly, for TPEP, I also referred. So I realized that the tax rates and some of the things are not up to date in the video learning kit. However, I use that as my framework. So when sir has gone through the questions about tax rate calculation or the deductions per se, so that is a good framework in terms of how to prepare for the for calculating the income tax for any individual, and then updated those rates or deductions based on the latest available. So I refer to some websites which I guess probably everyone knows. It's very commonly known, like ClearTax or Tax Guru and Chartered Club. So these websites help me to bring me up to speed in terms of any developments or any changes that might have happened in terms of deductions also. For example, senior citizen have ATTTB, they're not eligible for ATTTA or whatever it is, were quite useful. And lastly, I'll be honest, there were some struggles in terms of the tax calculation. So when I have done the calculation, how do I determine that my answer is correct or not? So I also used a tax calculator, which I found very useful. I'll share with you. And sir can also post it in the WhatsApp group later on. So it was very useful. It is a very structured way on the Income Tax India website itself. So they have given a nice structure of any individual's tax calculation based on the income. Let me see if I can share it also. It is very, can I share it, sir?
Yes, yes, we have enough time.
Okay, so is it share screen?
I'll give you share screen option.
Okay, I can see it now. Yeah. No. Can you all see my screen?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so I found this website very useful because every time if I have calculated something, it's on the Income Tax India website only. So, and it is all updated, very relevant by financial year. One can put in the, select the assessment here, taxpayer, what is individual or HUF or whatever, and then you can input your income based on the different criteria. So if you're solving any question and if one finds that the rates answer given in the VLK was a little bit outdated or based on an older tax assessment here, then we could easily convert here. So I did all the questions that sir has given in the folders, folder 18. I went through all the questions once again, and when I solved it individually on my own, I compared the answers if I was in doubt. Otherwise, when I clarified the concept clearing is the most important part I've realized. Once we know the concepts, we know whether gift tax, how it is taxable about 50,000 or gratuity calculation or all of those. Once those aspects were clear, the rest started falling in place automatically. It didn't take much of a, or it wasn't much of a challenge later on. The initial part was only clearing the concepts and using my own notes. So I also prepared notes for even each product. So when I have prepared one pager for every single product that we have gone through, gratuity, PPF, NSC, and all those, for example, small savings scheme. So I was inspired by the Excel spreadsheet that sir has provided, product features and benefits. So that helped me. And I found it a little bit different for me to remember. So I converted into a format that will help me to understand and retain it. So that is a framework which I used. Everything is there, whether it's taxable, limit, eligibility, deductions, etc. So I used that as my own framework and created my own notes, which allows me now to refer to that note anytime, not only for the exam perspective, but even 5 years down the line or 2 years down the line, that product is still applicable in the market. It's easy now. I can go and just change the date or change the interest rate, and it still remains relevant. So I created notes which helped me to prepare for all the exams. So that is it from my side. Don't know if you have. If I was too fast or any questions, then please, guys, please ask me.
Yes,
No
yes.
problem.
You have done your job good. So let's start with the Omkar only because he's going for TPEP next exam. Okay, so Omkar, I request you can ask one or two quick questions related to understanding the total preparation level.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for allowing me an opportunity. So I had a confusion about the different tax rates, and I mean, after the Bhavik's session, I got the clear understanding that we have to clear our base. I mean, the concept will be remain the same, process will be remain the same, but only changes will be in some minor changes like sales is from 3 to 4%, and other changes like
Yes, and Bhavik gave a very
some deductions are added or some removed. So those are the changes which I have.
Yes.
And Bhavik gave a very good solution because I was also not aware that income tax India itself has a ready-made calculator where you plug in all data and you reconfirm your answer. So you don't require my support also because I may not be tax expert. Please understand, tax planning is the rule-based paper where there is no any creativity or any innovations done by the any faculty, even those who are chartered account also, because it is a rules. You have to understand the concept behind the rules, okay, and process, and then remember that rules or process and principles, and then minor changes are there, which if it is not updated, definitely we recorded in 2017, structure and framework is remain same, but if it is not updated, then you can reconfirm with me, I can reconfirm with FPSB also. FPSB means income tax calculator also. Any other specific query, Omkar, you would like to ask reference to TPP preparation at this juncture?
No, sir. Most of the doubt clear, and the additional information about the income tax website calculator. So yes, it will be helpful for verifying the answers. So that was really a very good point for me to proceed ahead with the TPP exam.
Okay.
I mean, you have already provided with the guidelines, like we have to go through folder one and other folders, and going through the important notes. So while going through the important notes, I started making my own notes, as Bhavik said. Suppose in a deduction sections, what is added, what is removed. So I started making those notes. So now things are getting a bit clear, which I earlier had a confusion about. As we mentioned, the data or the VLK is of 2017, and we are now in 2020. So now the things are more clear to me.
Okay, good. Definitely. Even though I am phone call away between evening 5 to 8, because end of the day, please understand my thought process is very simple. I want to understand how your progress is, and if you are doing your progress, then you are going to ask me a query, and then I can come to know. Today I asked to join 10 participants, okay, and out of 10 we know that only two participants has joined. So it is not necessary that someone is not preparing, okay. So in that condition, whatever I do a spoon feeding, it doesn't give any benefit to the participant because the participant is not preparing because of any reason. Okay. Yes, Tejas bhai, you are going for investment planning examination. So Bhavik scored 73% or 70. How much scored you?
72.
72%. So Bhavik, Tejas bhai, if you have a specific query as you are preparing for IP examination, so you can ask.
My experience when I started preparing for IP is, of course, whatever was learned in the video kit, the formulas and all, everything. And then when I started reading the workbook, even though formulas are looking like same, they all use different terminology. For example, R here is K in the workbook. So that creates a lot of confusion. So a single terminology could have helped, but anyway, that doesn't happen right now.
It
So I'm
doesn't
trying to
happen
get
here.
over that. How to bridge that gap. It is actually more I read the workbook, more I'm forgetting what I learned in the class.
Okay. So Tejas bhai, if I can suggest here, the formula terminology is different from author to author. You take any book. I have done CFA charter as well, and some of the things that I'm looking in here now, I've covered that in the past in terms of formulas. So dividend discount model, for example, or DCF in terms of constant growth or variable cash flows. Now, the terminology they might have used is different, but the answer to calculate the formula is only one and the same. It does not change from book to book. They might have called something differently. So if you stick with the formula that sir has provided us, that will be sufficient. That will help you come to the same answer that is required for the purpose. I mean, you can test yourself using, if you look at the sample paper, for example, which is provided on the FPSB website also. So definitely go through that, because that will also help you to validate. If there is any doubt in your process, or if you have lack of confidence or confusion or anything, then we can test the formula. Basically, this is for testing the formula. The mock test, anyways, I suggest we all do it for the exam preparation. But don't get worried or bogged down by the different terminology used in the workbook, because we have to understand that author, whoever has written this book, is not from, may not be necessarily from India. Some of the books I have noticed are written by US authors or Australian or New Zealand authors as well, because they are thinking in terms of their local market. However, the principles are same. They are applicable globally in terms of investment. So the book itself is valid and it's applicable for us. But if you're confused by the formula, then use what you feel yourself familiar with. So, Sharpe ratio, those formula will not change. Sharpe ratio will remain Sharpe ratio. Correlation, covariance, they all don't change. The letters they are using might be different from different country to country or different author to author. However, the concept still remains valid, and it will remain the same forever until somebody comes up with new ideas. So in our case, it should be fine.
Yeah.
Specifically, sometimes for beta and all, I found when in relation to your question, Tejas bhai, they give different variations in terms of given, beta can be calculated based on covariance as well as correlation. If if you have the data, one variable is given, you can calculate the second variable, and from there you leads to the third variable. So there are many different ways to calculate it. Make sure that when you are practicing, you practice with all different variables, because whatever we've gone through in the sample paper or mock paper is one set of possible option. They might give us completely different variable, because the formulas are x plus y equals z. We can modify that formula, x is equal to y, z minus y, or something like that. So same way it applies in this also, and you will find that very useful, because that will definitely come in some way, shape or form.
Okay. So if I answer in another way, now you imagine that you are CFP practitioner, independent CFP practitioner, and one of your client who has you are managing 1 crore rupees mutual fund portfolio, basically distribution. Okay, now all of a sudden one wealth management company sent a very beautiful, basically prospectus, and client is impressed and he is asking you, are you following same thought process or not? Okay, now at that time you cannot ask that wealth management company, send me in my language, na? Okay, because I don't understand this type of code, or we have studied only particular thought. So end of the day, post CFP, that's the reason I always more focus on the post CFP journey, because post CFP journey is far bigger and far longer. Okay, where here K. Usha can give you a high quality training, K. Usha can give you all required support. Okay, but post CFP, definitely my responsibility is getting over. So if you are prepared yourself in such a beautiful way, then you can independently solve your client query, and 10-20% if you require, you can take help of other practitioners. Okay, so it is not like that our aim is pass the examination. So someone who is thinking always, my aim is pass the exam, then he forgets the particular subject. Otherwise, when we go to one place particular, even if you go to one example new place and one particular mall, and we seen 50 shops, we can recollect easily what we have seen in each shops, etc. So this way, understand you may have that kind of doubt, but if you just leave that thought process, yes, I am here to not pass the exam, I am here to be a domain expert, and once I become a domain expert, it will help me to provide a better qualitative advisory. Otherwise, you will surprise that once you complete the CAP, you will come to a close touch with the AMCs and all corporate agents. Okay, and then they will basically sell their product and services. And if you do not know the difference in the quality of investment thought process, the chances that you will be doing same thing what earlier before CAP you were doing. You are getting my point, Tejas bhai?
Yes, sir.
Urushali, am I audible
Yes,
to
sir.
you? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So, Urushali, you are going to write second exam, na, IP.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Have you booked the date, exam date?
28, going to book 28, sir.
Okay. Okay. So we have Bhavik Kakkad. He has completed his IP exam with 70+%. So do you have any specific question right now about the general preparation guideline? Anything you would like to ask?
Yes, I want to ask, how should I prepare for IP? Means I can clear the IP in first attempt with good grade.
Okay, so which exam did you write first, if I may ask?
RPB.
RPB, okay. So you, while preparing for RPB, you must have gone through a lot of questions regarding to goal-based planning per se, I guess. So from my perspective, I use that as a template, and since that was done, I focused mainly on IP related. So if you are clear with your concepts with goal-based planning, then you can directly focus on the individual subject expert related questions only, and which is what I use. So I did IP workbook, mock test, sample test, sample paper on the website, and sir's notes and my notes as well. So those are the key aspects which I followed, going through the Word document and solving all the workbook related questions in the workbook. That will help you to understand all the theory related aspects, all the objective related questions which may come in the exam. So once you are once you've done this, it will help you to clarify some of the concepts which which something has been missed, for example, or if you have looked at the video a few months ago, in my case it was, and if something is forgotten, then it's easy to revise that also. So, and after all of that, if you still have doubts, then approach sir or one of us to ask the questions. But generally, this should be your thought process, that first clarify your plan and then go through all these aspects, I would say.
Okay, okay. And for theory, investment planning workbook is more than enough?
It is more than enough. If you can read that full workbook and go through all the questions in that, then that should be sufficient, because it has plenty of scenarios, different types of questions, I guess. And once you practice that, then you will be more comfortable or confident also, one feels. At least in my case, that was.
Okay, okay. Okay.
So have
Thank
you
you.
started with the preparation, Vaishali?
Yes, sir. I have started with preparation.
So what you have completed right now in IP?
So I have gone through sample papers. Then I have started about VLK notes. Then from tomorrow, yes, I will start our IP workbook.
Okay, okay. Any other question, Tejas bhai, you have right now? Have you booked the exam, Tejas bhai?
No, not right now, sir.
Okay, so are you planning to book, or what is your thought right now?
Planning. I'll connect with you separately on that, sir.
Okay, okay. Any specific question right now?
No, not right now. Thank you,
Okay.
sir.
Okay. So
just one point to add here,
yes,
Kev, sir. Omkar, for your tax preparation exam, I'd suggest I go through all the questions like house rent allowance, income from house property, and perquisites. So all of those per se, which is given in the video learning kit, and if you have prepared your own notes, you can refer to that also. But that things have not changed, so they are still applicable, and you might get one or two questions from either of these calculation per se as well, in a different shape or form. So these are very standard questions, and definitely I expect as something or the other they'll keep on asking. They may not ask everything, but it's easy to get 3 or 4 marks once your concept is clear on these principles. Then it's easier to score those marks.
Omkar,
Okay.
do you have any last question? Would you like to ask a question?
About sir, the status question. I mean, Bhavik just mentioned about
Yes.
Yes, tell.
the NRI NRI status. We have an
Yeah.
important notes for that. But if I want to, I mean, which website should suggest?
Sorry, Omkar, I could not hear your question clearly.
You mentioned about the NRI and the questions
Yes.
about the NRI status.
Yes. Yes. So for
In advanced level, I
residential,
mean, we have an important.
yeah. So for residential status calculation, please remember that the logic given in the kit and also on any websites, if you refer, it's the same thought process. You have to first determine whether a person is residential or not based on the formula. Again, it is based on the number of days spent. So if you remember those and if you do the calculation, you will be able to determine whether one is resident or ordinarily or non-ordinarily. And if nothing of that sort is meeting the criteria, then it is a non-resident. So it is a very step-by-step process. The only thing,
Okay. Thank you, Bhavik. Thank you.
the only thing that I found different, or maybe you should remember, is that from an India perspective, the day of departure or day of arrival in India is considered as one spending a day in India itself. So someone leaving India on 29th September is still considered as residing in India, even though they may have departed on 29th September. So sometimes the question is just on the borderline, 182 days, 183 days. They give sometimes questions related to those. And in practice exams also, you will find those questions. So 29 September means just touching 182 days. And there is a confusion whether one is resident or non-resident. Probably you will find in some of the old papers it is resident, but that is not the case. 182 days means, sorry, you will find that it is a non-resident, but that's not the case. 182 days means it is resident in, the person was resident in India.
Okay, so yes, let me. We have another 8 minutes, so I'll conclude in 4 minutes. Then I'll give another 3 to 4 minutes to Bhavik to conclude the discussion. So, when you are preparing for your module exam or later on final exam, I strongly suggest to focus on practical application. So when you do a investment planning, right now Rushali or Tejas Bhai is doing the investment planning, so it is your duty to go through some website like moneycontrol.com or value research or Morningstar and understand how ratios are calculated, whether it is a PE or maybe PB ratio or maybe a dividend yield. So until you don't do a practical application and don't do a proper research, chances that you may forget it, and you have to again think louder when you do any particular exam, whether it is a first exam RPB or second RAIP, third investment planning, and fourth TPP or final exam, your main objective is that you are preparing for a bigger journey, which is a post CFP journey. Okay, if you focus on a post CFP journey, because you know that last year there could be many participants. Okay, they were aspirant and today they are practitioners. Okay, so chances that one can complete 3 months early or 3 months later because of some personal or professional reason. But if you think that whatever you are preparing, it is not about the passing exam, it is not just thinking in examination term, it is more about how I can transform my personal and professional career, how I can help my client to construct their comprehensive financial plan and help them to transform their personal or financial life. So if you think bigger, and again, as I said, I am available every day between Monday to Saturday, I can say, or Sunday also. Every day, Monday to Sunday, you can say evening 5 to 8 to solve your subject and practical queries. And second, my objective is not to do a spoon feeding with you. That is, I am totally against of this spoon feeding since beginning of my journey. Because end of the day, today CFP practitioner is there. कैन आई कम एंड से दैट सर आपने जो वीडियो लेक्चर किया था तभी तो 2015 में हमने किया था, टैक्स स्लैब अलग था, आज अलग है, तो हमें इनकम फ्रॉम सैलरी सिखाइए या कंफर्म करके दीजिए। तो कहने का मतलब है कि व्हेन यू आर इंडिपेंडेंट, ओके, यानी कि आपने एक प्रोसेस को, प्रिंसिपल को, कॉन्सेप्ट को सीखा है, तो आपकी पोस्ट सीएपी जर्नी भी आसान हो जाएगी। आप मुझे फोन करके मंथ में एक सवाल पूछते हैं तो आई वुड बी हैप्पी टू आंसर पोस्ट सीएपी, बट इफ यू आस्क मी एवरी डे सम बेसिक क्वेश्चन, देन आई से दैट व्हाई डोंट यू जॉइन सेकंड टाइम वीडियो लेक्चर्स, I'll give you some concession, and I done it with many participants and they joined if they interested. So it is not about that कि केयूषा को नोट्स को माइनर जो है उसको अपडेट नहीं करना है या उसको ये नहीं करना है। केयूषा एक डिफरेंट थॉट प्रोसेस का व्यक्ति है, वो चाहता है कि मेरे स्टूडेंट जो है वो इंडिपेंडेंट बने, मैं किसी को मेरे पे डिपेंडेंट नहीं बनाना चाहता हूं। आई वांट टू क्रिएट माय रेप्लिका एंड यू नो दैट देयर आर मेनी स्टूडेंट, ओके, दे हैव become my replica in terms of knowledge and skill sets by applying knowledge in spirit, okay, even though they could not, they hadn't any background. Someone was in IT today, you feel that he is a domain expert in personal finance, तो उसका फाउंडेशन कहां से आया? तो यहाँ से ही आया है ना। So please understand कि if you think loud and bigger, yes, post CAP journey is bigger. Second, do a practical application on day-to-day basis. Don't leave that कि client application of CAP के बात करेंगे. I request whichever the module you have, you must do a practical application and focus on constructing the end-to-end financial plan. And if you have a query, you can share your financial plan or particular query to me. I would be happy to do. If you are working in your uncomfort zone, and if you're taking my help, I would be very more happy to give you help because it will help me to improve my knowledge and skill set. But if you are asking, okay, which already learned or discussed in video lectures, chances that I thought that if I am solving again, it is like a spoon feeding. So I thank you very much, Bhavik, to come on this platform and share his journey of last 3 examinations. So Bhavik, would you like to conclude with 1 or 2 minute your discussion?
So from my per se, sir, I think you've summarized it well. Concept clear, I found it very beneficial. When my concepts were clearer, it does not matter whether it was a different tax rate or different formula. It did not create any hindrance from my preparation perspective. So that helped me. And it's important as plan your structures, structure your study, basically how you are going to achieve that or complete that perspective. Otherwise, one will end up studying so much one particular area because time and again it happened with me also. So I had to pull my reins and stop. You get interested in a subject and sometimes we end up spending so much time on one particular area compared to the other. So balance your preparation and that should help, I guess. So that is it. Clear your concepts and then balance, structure your plan, study program and balance.
Okay, so I thank you very much, all of you. You come on this platform and listen and learn from Bhavik Kakkad. And I know that Omkar has completed 3 exams, Tejas Bhai has completed 2 exams, Rushali has completed 1 exam. If we just focus on our primary level preparation, which is 80%, because end of the day, 20% is a periphery. Periphery could be very big. And if you focus on periphery, chances that you may not pass the exam, but what is the syllabus, what we have learned in video lectures, what we have given a questions in question bank given. If you focus on primary preparation, invest 100 to 125 minimum hours in each examination, okay, and book your exam in time, okay, month on month. So chances is there that yes, you are going to pass with flying color, and in April you feel yourself, yeah, I was so worried about my CAP certification, and it is with the most of the participant, because when they have started, okay, there is a thought process in mind that when I complete the CAP, but instead of just thinking of completing the particular goal, we have to also enjoy the journey in doing the goal. Right now I am doing a CFA preparation, but it is not for me passing the exam. It is more about the enjoying the journey and learning and acquiring the domain expertise. So I once again, thank you very much. And if you have any query question, you can feel free to connect with me every day between 5 to 8 and solve your all subject query, practical query, and wish you all the best for the your upcoming exam, and expect that first attempt with minimum 60% plus. Thank you very much for joining with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Bhavik. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks, Omkar.